Welcome to part 2 of my video series on soul relationships. On this video, we're going to explore more closely the subpersonalities, which I spoke about on the first video. And in fact, I'm going to be giving you a process here. Now, this isn't the only way you can work with it, of course. This is just a process that was given to me in 1996. To begin with, as has been stated in the previous article on the Talika, subpersonalities are really not true personalities as we understand them. They are fragmented essences of the soul's attempt to integrate with its life experience. As these personality essences attach themselves to various aspects of our behavior, they often find an unbalanced venting into the larger personality. In extreme cases, outwardly displayed multiple personalities may result. Subpersonalities need expression in the conscious mind in order to merge with the holistic system each incarnated human being contains. How do we then allow this expression to take place? First, we must acknowledge that these subsystems are not separate from us. They may be incomplete passages of spirit, but they are parts of our very being in various levels of experience on Earth. Secondly, we need to recognize that in order for the subpersonalities to express into the conscious mind, we must be willing to earnestly communicate with them. This means we must speak to these portions of ourselves as openly as we would have them speak to us. The language is in our heart, the bond we share with all aspects of our nature. The communion is given substance through the soul's ability to know all time as one, and thus all incarnations and experiences of that soul, and not just the current embodiment. Since the soul carries awareness in the higher mind that it is in the process of reincarnation in many time frames and possibly dimensions simultaneously, so it shares that knowledge with all the compartmentalizations that have formed as a result of its attempts to integrate with the subpersonality essences. In doing this, these essences must draw from past and future lifetimes of that soul in order to evolve the essence into a true function of the whole persona. In this knowledge, the key to the door between our conscious mind and the compartments of our fractured being may be found. Now, I would like to inject the following. The subpersonalities, there's subpersonalities that are fragments, trying to come together and do their thing. They're viable, though. They're viable parts of our being. But in the process of that, they create junk. They create junk particles. I don't know if particles is the right word, little pieces of themselves. This is a further breakdown. And these little pieces are basically let's call it junk. It's just something that needs to be cleared out, defragged, the defragging of the whole process to get rid of those little junk pieces so that the true viable subpersonality fragments can relate to us and form a connection. This article does not address that specifically. Remember, this was written in 1996. I do tend to get more information on topics as I go along. But I wanted to just inject that for the moment. Maybe it will come up again as I read all of this. So now we have the process. Now, I'm going to read this to you as it is, but what I'm going to start doing on many of my, or if not most, at least of my series, and possibly some of my individual video portions as well for the portal, is that I'm going to start making PDFs. If there's an extensive amount of material that really needs to be studied, it's not just some floating, one of my activational energy experiences, but something that has, information you really need to get in touch with and maybe go back and listen to or possibly read with your own two eyes. I'm going to extract it and put it into PDFs. And when you go into the portal, or you'll receive on the portal list, you will receive a link to it, and you can get both the video series and the related PDF file or files. So that's my plan anyway. So let's see how that takes shape. So you will be getting the PDF of this process, so you can look at it, study it, and read it, but you'll also have it here on this particular video. You may wish to record this process so that you can create your own self-guided visualization, which would free your mind up more completely for the process itself. The first step: lie down on your back in a comfortable and relaxed position. Do some deep breathing while visualizing an image or scene that brings you a sense of comfort and belonging. Feel yourself floating, very relaxed and tranquil, with a silver cord attached from you to a central point or image in your visualized scene. Think and feel yourself moving outward from this scene, yet you are safely attached to it and able to return at any moment simply by desiring to do so. The intent here is not to have an out-of-body experience, so insert the intentional command that you will stay in body and yet be able to travel freely through your own inner spaces. This would be something akin to remote viewing. It really has its own category, but that's more closely what it's kind of like. 2, as you move outward, ahead you sense a destination. Ask that your course be set toward a lifetime, either in your past or future, in which a personality essence of your soul that you are not consciously aware of is most prominently expressed. Request that this essence, clothed in a past or future life, be the one you are now ready to experience and integrate into your holistic personality. Before we move further into this process, certain factors should be clarified. The intention here is to find what the personality essence is trying to express in your current lifetime through the outer garment of a past or future life. Thus, as you interact with these past, future lifetimes, it is important to keep focused on your true mission, which is integration of self in the current time frame. To do this, you will need to see past the outer dynamics of whatever life experience is presented to you. Your insight must be honed to find the aspect of that sojourn which is registering in your current embodiment as an incomplete and thus compartmentalized essence. 3, you have now been presented with a glimpse of a past or future lifetime in which the current fractured essence prevails. You may be given only one event out of the whole life experience, or you may see a basic, in other words, highlights, unfolding of the complete lifetime. Understand that you will be shown whatever most reveals the essence which you are seeking. If a basic picture of the whole life expression is viewed, then you will be alerted to the fact that the essence is distributed throughout the lifetime somewhat equally. If you are given one or several specific moments in that life scroll, then those are the points in which the essence is most intensely demonstrated. The personality essence you are pursuing through the maze will probably have several lifetimes in which it plays a prominent role in the soul's journey. For the sake of expediency, you do not need to tap every one of these lifetimes. Ask only to be shown the one or two in which the essence is most accessible to you at this point in your incarnation. 4, keep a second recorder handy as you travel through this encounter. Speak whatever you see and feel. Ask repeatedly to be shown the aspect of that life which has become trapped as an incomplete essence in your current experience. Peel away the layers until you find the core, the seed, that part of yourself which is being more fully expressed in the past or future and is in the present locked away in a small dark room of your lower self. When you can feel it in your heart center, you have made contact with the essence. What you think about it is not important. You must feel it in your heart. When your heart quickens, tingles, and pulses, you will know you have touched the essence which you are seeking. Once this sacred communion has been established, surround the feeling with absolute love and forgiveness, and ask it to come with you back into the present incarnation. Follow the silver cord back to your source scene of original departure. Now move back into your present time frame and embodiment. 5. Bring the essence you brought back with you into the light of your heart mind. Visualize a brilliant white light permeating the essence until it expands and surges into an equally radiant wave of bliss, piercing your heart like a golden arrow. Open your eyes and smile. You have accepted another part of yourself into the fold. Now, I might say the best way probably to work with this is to have the written material by your side rather than it on tape. I say tape, I'm talking old-fashioned, on MP3 or iPad or whatever. Just have it, the written part, because I'm giving you the PDF. You can just type it out, print it out. You'll have it next to you so you can glance at it. Okay, this is 3, this is what I do here, and then you close your eyes and go into that. Or maybe study it thoroughly beforehand and you don't have to look at it step by step. I would, because my memory's not that good. But on the recording part of it, on your little recorder, you're going to record what you're seeing and feeling. It's really important to do that so that you can play it back and go through it. This is really not a simple process, but it's not hugely complex either, so as long as you have it organized so that you can follow it succinctly on the one hand and easily record it. You record your feelings in your passage on the other. After a successful retrieval and integration of a subpersonality, the work is still not completed. Each holistic being holds a strong lower self-magnetic charge around the karmic field of that particular subpersonality. Once the essence or subpersonality is integrated into the greater persona, the magnetic imprint will still remain for a while and can cause the newly retrieved essence to recreate itself within the compartmentalized fractured being. Thus, it is important to be aware of where in your magnetic field or lower self you are demonstrating a phantom charge of the old fractured essence. When you find these places within you, move into a heart centering immediately, focusing the white light into the cells and up through the crown of the head, beseeching all angelic and inner plane mentors to aid you in releasing these phantom responses from your field. All right, well, this concludes the integration of subpersonalities on the video. As I said, you will have a PDF so you can actually seriously work with this and put it into effect. I was just basically going over it with you here, giving you the basic information and my current commentary on it. And I may develop something a little more cohesive that people can actually follow as I'm talking that would add to it. But the thing that's the most important is you doing it yourself and recording your own experience as you're doing it. That's really important. Your voice recording what you're sensing and feeling. Not a lot of talk, but the basic things so that you can play that back. Not only to hear it again so that you can follow, sequentially what happened and you won't forget it. I mean, that's good, but that's not the most important reason for it. The most important reason is your voice. Your voice as you are relating it, as you're seeing it and you're talking it. Your voice is going to capture, I'm sorry, Alexa just keeps interrupting here. Your voice is capturing the actual particle energy of that experience in your body as you're speaking it, as you're experiencing it. So when you play it back, it has that information in it, even though you can't, hear it, it's in the voice print. So that's why it's so important to record it and something that doesn't really distort your voice, and to play it back to you as you're going, so that's the second part of the study. of the process, is to hear that and play it back repeatedly. Once you've actually done the experience, had the experience with this, really only one time is necessary if you feel it's complete and adequate. If you feel it was kind of off balance and you didn't quite do it right, by all means do it again. But if you feel good with it, you don't have to keep doing it. But the recording, it's necessary to replay it again and again. I would say off and on for maybe weeks, maybe months. You don't have to do it, you don't even have to do it every day. Maybe at first, maybe the first few days, and then maybe once a week, whatever you feel. It's totally up to you. But don't just listen to it once and that's it. That's not the purpose of this. The recording is the healing vibration. You go through the experience once fully, and then you listen to your recording repeatedly until you feel that you've absorbed it and you're not finding this fractured subpersonality aspect popping up in your experience. Of course, we have so many of them that we're only looking at addressing the ones that you're feeling. You've got a subpersonality essence, something blocking you at work. You need to work with it. That's what you call upon. So let's say you do all of this and you feel you're successful. And let's say 6 months from now, 5 months from now, 4 months from now, you go, oops, I've got another one here I need to deal with. Another subpersonality, not the same one, another fractured part. And you just go through this whole process again with it. You have to work with one at a time, unfortunately. It's because it's an individual relationship kind of thing. So that said, I'm going to conclude part 2 of Soul Relationships. See you in part 3.